In the mid-19th century, the California gold rush brought thousands of immigrants from Asia, Australia, and South America through San Francisco Bay, transforming the once tiny settlement into a booming merchant town. As settlers filled what would become the city of San Francisco, communities began to populate across the bay. But for decades, travel between San Francisco and what is now Marin County was only possible by ferry. A bridge had been discussed many times over the years, but seemed too impractical until 1916, when an engineer named Joseph Strauss said it could be done at a reasonable price. Strauss spent the next decade and a half gathering support for his plan. The United States War Department signed off on it in 1924, but opposition continued throughout the rest of the 1920s. Most notably from the Southern Pacific Railroad, which operated the bay's ferry service. Then, after the Wall Street crash of 1929, financing fell apart. But the Golden Gate Bridge District was able to convince voters to support the project through a bond measure. And finally, with a $35 million budget, construction commenced on January 5, 1933. Thousands of workers looking for work in the midst of the Great Depression joined the ambitious and daring project, suspended hundreds of feet above the cool waters of the channel, piecing together millions of pounds of steel, and 4.5 years later, coming in under budget. The bridge was ready for business. When the Golden Gate Bridge opened on May 27, 1937, 200,000 people showed up to walk, run, and even roller skate across its wild expanse. The bridge became an instant landmark and symbol of the American West. People from all over the world came to marvel at the unique engineering feat, to journey from end to end.
The bridge that couldn't be built, the bridge that spans the Golden Gate.
The Golden Gate Bridge remained the world's longest suspension bridge until 1964. But even without the title, it continued to overshadow even the ones that spanned much further. It was romanticized as a monument of beauty, towering amongst the striking nature that surrounds it. Something so scenic and picturesque, attributes that entrenched it in popular culture, in movies, and in songs. The Golden Gate Bridge has never been just a bridge, and beyond its arresting stature, it commands something much more important and essential to the American identity.
The fact that men who never saw a blueprint or drove a rivet were so deeply proud of the accomplishment proved that all men are builders at heart, conquerors of the impossible. But some men, the engineers, earn and cherish the privilege of doing the dreaming, the planning, the building. It was such men who designed and built the Golden Gate Bridge.